Hey guys and girls, Nathan Birch here, just driving through northwestern Sydney, looking at properties and seeing what's happening in the market at the moment. As we can see, there's trucks everywhere, there's streets aligned with all different stuff, all different civil works going in. If you go up the street there, you'll see that there's building happening everywhere. There's trucks and trucks and trucks. If you look over here, there's houses being built, and what is actually going on? What is happening with the market for the rest of 2017? Are we in a bubble? What is on the cards? Just a bit from my 2 cents, for whatever you value that as, is what I'm finding is that the Australian economy, we've gone from a mining boom to a construction boom, and what is happening out there. So what my experience is driving around and looking at these areas on a constant basis, as we see these big dust clouds up ahead of us here, tradies everywhere. There's a lot of shiny utes like the one that I'm driving in everywhere. Everyone's got a nice brand new ute, and that's because these builders are making lots of money, and that's what's keeping this economy afloat. So we're not producing anything, we're not making anything, we're not exporting anything. We're just living in an economy where we need to create something. So from a housing standpoint, we've got a need that we need to bring people into the country. We need to grow our population because we're a young country, and it would be political suicide for us to slow down immigration or stop immigration. People say that stop having people come in and then we won't have a housing crisis, but the crisis will be much greater, just looking at economics, due to the fact that we need our taxes paid for. When people come in, they work, they earn money, they earn a living, we need people to come and pay taxes. So we need people to come in, which would be suicide for the economy if we didn't have people come in. We're a young country, so we don't have all the housing requirements of what we need. Plus, we haven't built anything. A lot of people think that Sydney's in a boom or a bubble or whatever. If we look at the real fact of the Sydney property market, the market peaked in 2003. It went backwards from 2003 to 2009. When the GFC came, what we found is that the prices went up, the market increased, and between 2009 and 2012, the prices got back to where they were in 2012 to where they were in 2003. Looking at the market since 2012 to 2017, so the last 5 years, it's doubled. So the market isn't in a bubble or whatever. We just simply have too many people and not enough properties, and we will keep needing to build properties, and if we stop building these properties, then we're going to have a bigger problem down the track, and we'll just be kicking the can down the road. So either one of two things is going to happen. Either prices are going to continue to go along the trajectory that they're going, or that they won't. So if they keep going on the trajectory, well, then we'll solve some of the crises of what we've got today and the mess that we're in. If they go backwards and then all this boom sort of stops and the building stops happening, what we're going to find is that we're not going to have enough housing, and it's going to create even a bigger mess. I remember back in 2011, I pulled some ABS statistics, and we're short 180,000 dwellings in this country. Pulled it out going back about 6 months ago. We're short now 330. So we need to do something in order for us to be able to accommodate for people in this country, and that is to build. And if we don't build, well, then we're going to have higher rents. So either the prices of the housing is going to go up, or the pricing of the rent's going to go up. And for me, I'm happy either way, because I own lots of properties. I want to see them go up in value, and I own lots of properties and I want to see the rents go up in value. And there's always opportunities. I've had people telling me through some of the baddest times of the markets, through the GFC, I quit my job in the GFC. I retired from the workforce from the GFC. There's always an opportunity out there, and it's important as an investor, I use the word investor, I don't use the word property investor. As an investor, you need to always be conscious of opportunities, conscious of your position. If you're just buying a property and hoping it's going to go up, well, then you're speculating. You're not being an investor, so take that title away from yourself. All you're doing is just buying a property and hoping for the best. But if you're an investor, you will keep your finger on the pulse with all markets. You will move with the markets. You will grow with the markets. You will, change your strategy with the markets. You will look for opportunities. You will look to put yourself in a better position. And 2017, am I optimistic or pessimistic? I'm cautious of not making silly decisions, as I always have been. I'm very optimistic. We live in the land of the free and the land of, opportunity, and this is, opportunity all around us. And people have said that prices are going to fall and the properties are going to fall, etc., etc. However, I've seen the prices change over time. You cannot, change the fact that we have a shortage of properties, and it's not getting better anytime soon. No matter what we build, we have to play catch up. We don't have the manpower to build the catch up. We don't have we're way behind the 8 ball still. So with it, I see that there's a long time for this market to go ahead. If the market does stall in whatever fashion, or does slow down a little bit, there's opportunities for prices to rise. There's other markets that haven't gone up. There's markets that are in decline, as we're saying the Sydney market is on the rise. Did you know that? Since the Sydney market's gone up, the areas like Perth and Queensland and mining towns and Darwin and stuff have gone backwards. It's opportunities out there. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. It's depending on what side of the coin you want to look at. So I'll leave it with you. If you do have any questions, you do want some help, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure that if you have any questions, you can call us at 1300 367 925 on the B.Invested hotline. Just on a final note, if we see out where the camera is, you'll see that there's a big bridge there. I don't know if you've been blind, or if you haven't been out in Sydney, or you just haven't been to Sydney of recent times, but we're going through a once in a generation infrastructure boom as well. This infrastructure is trying to keep up to the supply of people that there are in the country, or in the state, in the city. And looking at this infrastructure, there's heaps of stuff. There's heaps of stuff that's planned that no one even knows about. Here's the Western Metro, the Northwest Metro. There's a Western Metro. There's a City Metro. There's new freeways going in. There's talks of an M9 freeway. There's talks of an F6, I think it is. There's infrastructure going everywhere. There's stuff needing to be built everywhere. There's stuff needing to be built for services. These are not being built just for the fun of it. It's to play catch up. And we're going through an infrastructure boom. We're going through a very, very interesting time, and I don't see this stopping anytime soon. We could see, things get a bit tighter and the prices plateau out, but there's a lot of work out there to be done still, and a lot of money being invested into this country that we live in. And for us to have first world facilities, it comes at a first world problem cost. So I'd suggest for those of you that are complaining about it or waiting for the bubble to pop, I've heard the same stories 10 years ago, I'd suggest to stop, have them piccolo lattes, and everyone's saying smashed avocado and whatnot. Don't worry about your next Kentucky tour or the next time you're going to visit Europe. Make the sacrifices, make the commitment, pull your finger out of your ass and buy some properties. We'll catch up soon. Have an awesome day.